There is no perfect parent. We all get up frustrated. We all sometimes don't know what to do. And it is in those moments that we need that support, or we need to hold ourselves, or we need to have that frame of reference. Oh, this is normal. Okay, how can I get the support I need to move through this? Welcome to The Rested Parent. My name is Jen Ballew. I am a doula, a pediatric sleep practitioner, and the founder of the Parenthood Project USA. I've spent over a decade in rooms with families at the most vulnerable threshold of their lives. This is a show about sleep, because sleep is what most parents come to me for and what most parents struggle the most with in early parenthood. But it's also a show about everything that sleep touches: the nervous system, the body, the household, the world we live within. The way we raise children in a society that wasn't built to support the work of raising them. Sleep is the door. The show is bigger than the door. Let's get into it. Okay, so today we are going to dive into sleep not being a problem to fix, because it's very important to talk about, because everybody frames baby sleep as a problem to fix. It is everywhere. The thing is, when we look at our baby's sleep as a problem to fix, whether it be individually, whether it be societally, right? Instead of a stage to be nurtured through developmentally, it changes how present you can be as a parent. It changes how you show up in that space. And presence is the whole thing: how we show up, the energy we show up with, how we are with something, the relationship. So today I want to talk about where that frame of your child's sleep is a problem to fix came from. And I'm not saying that it's never a problem to fix, because it can become a problem to fix. It can become something that just isn't working. But first we want to dig into that space, because then we can actually determine whether or not there is a problem to fix, right? So that's step one. And the reason being is because in almost all situations, you didn't choose that frame. It's not really authentic or integral to you, right? Very often it is handed to you. And I'm not going to say it's like this in all situations. And this is something that you'll want to feel through to see how this impacts you and how you want to choose to be with it. That's the idea here. So let's talk about why this frame matters, okay? So the word problem, let's just feel into that first. The word problem puts you into fixing mode. And then I want you to feel into, what does fixing mode feel like? Activated, forward leaning, tight, bracing for the fight, gotta fix the thing. Whereas a stage to be nurtured through, this is normal, this is developmental. I have to nurture myself and hold myself through it. And then I also have to nurture my child through it as well. It's a completely different posture in the body. It's a different way of being with something. And that's going to change how you relate to it. It's going to change your thoughts. It's going to change how you feel in your body. And that is going to make a difference in so many different ways. Now, this is not meant as a tool for self-judgment in any way, because very often, again, this is often something that's been handed to you, and it's something that you can also hand back. That's the idea. But sometimes that might take a little work. But when you have this different posture in the body, the same night, the same baby, two different parents can show up depending on the frame that you are holding or what you're working through. The way you show up with it is going to look different based on that internal frame of how you're seeing something. And this is the co-regulation piece. Baby is not reading your strategy. They don't know what you're taking in, all these methods or wake windows or whatever it means. They are reading your state, how you are showing up, how it feels to them in their nervous system. They're very sensitive. They're taking it in. That co-regulation, we can see it when we're smiling at our baby and they're smiling back, and it excites us. And then it's this feedback loop of interaction and engagement and joy. And then it becomes too much, and then they start crying. And then how we are with the crying is also that same piece of how we are regulating through that ourselves and with our babies, right? There's these feedback loops. And again, there is no perfect parent. We all get up frustrated. We all sometimes don't know what to do. And it is in those moments that we need that support, or we need to hold ourselves, or we need to have that frame of reference. Oh, this is normal. Okay. How can I get the support I need to move through this? And sometimes that means looking into, well, what can be supportive for me in this stage, right? It's not that you're taking away any kind of fixing so much. It's, again, it's just a different way of being with it, right? It's not one or the other. It's not fix or nothing, right? There is a middle way, okay? And that's what we're here to share. So where does this land? Your baby is not reading your plan. They are reading your nervous system. If you take away anything, this is what I want you to take away. Now, nobody sat you down and taught you to see a developmental stage as something broken, right? Nobody taught you that. It's something you absorbed. It's the water that we all swim within. I swim within it. You swim within it. That just is, right? So first we need to understand that in order to be with that and create that new way forward, okay? So what we're going to talk about is 3 forces, right? 3 forces that will impact how you show up, how you are with as a parent, and how you feel really in the body, okay? And these are what's going on outside of you, right? So you have the external, we're going to have the external perspective and understanding and the visual of it. And then we're going to jump into, okay, well then what is the internal work to do, okay? So first force, this is the force that throws you off, right? The quick fix machine. What does this look like? Every solution arrives as a product, a thing, and it's everywhere, right? We fill out the registry. We really should be asking for help, not things, because the things are not what help. They are just quick fixes. They are dopamine hits. So every solution arriving as a product, right? That's what we're inundated with. That's the noise, the swaddle, the sound machine, the course, the next method, the next gadget, right? Anything that's going to make you feel better for a moment or two, or, you know, and then it's the product that did the thing and all of those things. And I'm not saying not to buy anything, because some things are great. Some things help. Sound machines are great. All of those things. It's the framework. It's the way that the structure that exists and that we exist within. That's the problem. Because if we're looking at everything as a problem to fix, what does that mean? A product needs a problem to sell against, right? That's basic marketing. You identify the problem and then you deliver the product. That is just, in living in a capitalist society, that is just what we are faced with. And in order for that product to do well, the problem has to stay alive. It has to be a problem. It has to continue to be a problem. So it's not really a real solution. It's a quick fix. The frame that sleep is a thing that you buy your way out of is very, very good for business. That's how they market to you, and they're able to sell their products and get their profits and benefit their shareholders. It's just what is. And this is the quick fix loop. You are always one purchase away from being fixed, right? So you never actually arrive. You just keep buying the next thing and the next thing and the next thing, and you're outsourcing all of it to the staff. And we all do it. Like, how am I going to keep my child occupied? Maybe I need to buy that new toy. And they play with it 2 or 3 times, and then it sits on the shelf and it goes in the trash. Or if we are present enough, we're able to pass it on to the next person, right? But I hope you can start to feel into this space a little bit. Just feel into it. I'm not anti-product again. It's the frame underneath it that's the problem. Because if the solution is always the next thing you buy, then by design, you never arrive. And that's what we want, is we want it to settle, to land, to arrive, to learn how to be with, rather than quick fix mode. Okay? And it's a different feeling in the body. Okay, so let's move on to force 2. And this is the support that isn't there, okay? Because the reason that you're reaching for these products and these quick fixes at 3 a.m. is that the real support is missing, plain and simple. No village, no elder in the room, no structural leave, no one who has done this thing beside you. Lots of crap out there as far as information. And so the isolation becomes the baseline. You don't know who to trust. And the exhaustion ends up becoming this personal failing instead of an actual structural one, right? And that's the thing we want to move away from, that feeling in the body as if you're failing when really it's the structure that's not supporting you as a parent. Also, we have the knowledge that would actually help you is actually out there, but it's buried under an ocean of, have you tried this? Have you tried that? I'll never forget this one client I had years ago, and she was just like, everybody's saying, have you tried this? And have you tried that? And, and it always stuck with me because, I'm guilty of it sometimes too. But for me, it's when I notice that coming up, it's an opportunity for me to just sit and to actually be with the other person, because really that's what they need. They need somebody to hold that space with them, to listen to them so they can feel all the feels, right? Because there's lots of feels, right? Sometimes it's not the fix we need that support. And sometimes it's just not there, because we're not taught how to be with things in that way. And that is the problem. It's not only misinformation, it's inaccessibility. How do you access that support? Good evidence does exist, but you cannot reach it through the noise. And that's the struggle, right? You are not underinformed, you are undersupported. And then you're buried in the noise. How do you find your way out of the noise? I'm having this vision right now of like, a radio or old TV. I'm old. We had the antennas, and you have to tune it, right? In order to get the right station, you got to tune it. Otherwise, it's noisy. If you're not attuned, it's just a bunch of noise. So that's what we're working on, is that attunement. What is the information that I am looking for that's really, truly going to help me move through this stage? And that's what we're building here at the Parenthood Project. If you're up at 3 a.m. with a baby who will not go down, I want you to hear something. You are probably not doing it wrong. Wake windows, 90 minutes at 8 weeks, 2 hours at 3 months. Those numbers get handed to parents like somebody measured them. Go looking for the study behind them, and it's not there. So you follow the plan, it does not work, and you decide that something is either wrong with your baby or wrong with you. I built Newborn Sleep Sanctuary to hand you something else. Not a method, not a chart, but an actual map of what is actually happening in your baby's body in the first few months. So you can tell a real problem from a stage. All of it is sourced. Where the evidence is strong, I say so, and where it runs out, I tell you that too. You are not managing a behavior problem. You are learning a person, and you are learning yourself too. Newborn Sleep Sanctuary. Link is in the show notes. So force 3, this is outsourced authority. Now, authority, experts, expertise, knowledge, like I am pro knowledge workers. Like the knowledge is so vast and it's needed. But how this shows up in a detrimental way can, like, we often hear the father of. First, you have that. Where's the mother of, right? When we're the ones mothering. So we lost that knowledge way back when. If we want to go into this space, we lost that knowledge. We lost that ancestral wisdom that used to be passed on generation after generation of, oh, this is normal, honey. It was really hard for me growing up, or when you guys were little too. And this was the thing that I did that helped me to get through it. And hopefully it's somewhat evidence-based. So we have this lack, unfortunately. And the information is often kept behind closed doors, but it's even in that situation, it's not always good information. Your pediatrician, although they are lovely and wonderful and everything, they're not sleep experts. And the truth of the matter is most people in the sleep space, we're all learning. We're all unlearning. So placing anybody in that guru space is not going to serve you. This industry runs on named authorities, whole methods that carry one person's name like a brand. You have like the SNU. The SNU is this whole brand around Dr. Harvey Karp. And I'm not bad talking him. He's done great work, right? There's nothing, but it's that leaving it all up to the experts or the authority that if you start to dig into the experts and the authority, you start to find, oh, maybe this isn't evidence-based, or maybe this isn't the answer, right? It's just one thing that is being sold to you. Naming a method after a person, and this is just an example, tells you the knowing lives outside of you. It's out there. It's in them. They have it, and you don't. And that creates a problem. That's a problem. Historically, that move has displaced the mother's own read of their own baby, right? When you're not looking at the baby and you're reading the thing and you have this thing over here and it's telling you to do this thing with the baby and it's a method, but maybe it's not working, and am I failing, or is there something wrong with my baby, or, right? And that's the space you can find yourself in. That doesn't feel good. It's confusing. It's confusing to you, and it's probably confusing to your baby too. They want you. So the idea that some outside expert knows your baby better than the body that grew them is just silly. Again, don't take it in, because that just isolates you further, right? It's recognizing how the system's built and how to navigate yourself within it. I'm not anti-expertise. Knowledge is power. It grounds you when you get good stuff. You're like, oh, I've been waiting for this. It settles you. It helps you feel, okay, I needed that piece of the puzzle and now I have it. It's good, right? What I am against is the specific move that takes a parent's authority and then relocates it into someone else's name, someone else's brand. That's what I don't believe in, I don't think it works, and I think that's what's the problem. And we see it in a lot of different spaces. And again, I'm not dogging Harvey Karp, and the 5 S's. Do your own research around that. I do have some feelings about the snoo, but that's for another day. And I do feel like it can be indispensable in certain situations too. So I'm not a black and white person. I'm about the nuance here. And we need lots of nuance here. Okay. So what is that? How can we sum that up, right? The knowing was never supposed to live outside of you. It lives within you. You hold the key, you hold the map. Your body knows. Your body knew how to conceive and grow that baby and birth that baby into this world. And it knows how to raise that child. And that doesn't mean you're going to be perfect. So that's the wisdom. No parent is perfect. There is no right thing in order to be the perfect parent. Like, it just doesn't work like that. It's a journey. We learn, we unlearn. So here's what I want you to see. These are not 3 separate problems. They are 3 versions of the exact same move. Quick fix machine sells your authority back to you as a product, as a thing. Isolation strips away the support that would have or would allow you to trust yourself. And the expert industry relocates your knowing into someone else's name, as if they have it and you don't, and you need it. It's the posture, it's how that feels, right? Every one of them takes authority out of you and it puts it somewhere else. And you have to chase it. That is the actual problem, and it's not your baby's sleep. And now imagine as a parent who maybe doesn't have all the resources in the world, how is that going to feel to somebody when they can't buy that product, or they have to work overtime for that thing when they're already exhausted? And that is the system at work. And that is what we're here to change. So what are we building instead? And this is what I'm building my part, but everybody needs to build too. And so we need to build this new way together, because that system just doesn't work for us. And that's the idea, right? So what's the first step? I mean, we got to see it, right? We got to recognize it. We got to find our place within it, not as in a self-judgment, just how do we remove ourselves from that way of being, from that structure, because it's external, but it's also internal, right? We're within it, so we have to dismantle it and step outside of it. We reclaim the knowledge that has been taken, right? We bring the authority back to us as parents, not in a company, not in a brand, but is us and parents. We are the authority. It's not the government telling us how to be. We reclaim it. The next step is presence over fixing, right? So learning how to be with these hard and difficult moments to move through whatever is arising for us. And we often need support to do this. And then you're able to learn how to be with your baby through all the things that come up for them, right? And what is this moving away from, right? The war, the struggle, right? There is a struggle within the midst of it, but as you move through it and you have the support to move through it, there is another side. The other thing that we're reclaiming, and that the next step would be this embodied knowledge, right? What is embodied knowledge? It's a knowing that you can feel in your body. It's not just a rule book that you're trying to follow perfectly, which is very much mind-based. But embodied knowledge is, no, this isn't right. This doesn't feel good. Vice, yes, okay, this feels good. Let's work with this. Let's be with this. Okay. And we want to reclaim that because that is the goal. When you know, nothing's going to take you out of that. None of that noise is going to take you off your path because it just can't. Real evidence. We need real evidence, real studies made accessible, not gate kept, not put into extremes, or it's only available for people who think this way. And we have all these cults and these fragments and these groups, and they think that they're the best and superior and they know what they're doing. And you have the next who think they're the best and they're superior. No. Level playing field. We have options. We have things that we can look at in order to make our own decisions. That's the idea. Okay. What else? Relational and communal support. The village rebuilt on purpose because this was never meant to be carried alone, right? And that is what we're building here. I'm building it, and I ask each of you to step into this space and build it with me because this is the way forward. This is about your authority coming home. This is about coming back into your own body, into your own family, with your own baby, back into your relationships, and back into your community. So here's an opportunity for you to kind of feel into this. What is this bringing up for you? What is your first step? How is this landing? If you felt something loosen its grip, or perhaps something tighten while I was talking, that is worth paying attention to. That's your body telling you there's some work to do here. I'd love for you to check out some of my freebies, which I have linked below. I've just recently launched my first course, all on newborn sleep, all developmentally appropriate, and all with the intention of handing the power back to you. So you have what you need in order to be within that 0 to 4 month stage in a more empowered way, having the knowledge that you need in order to feel good about being with your child's sleep as it is. I invite you to purchase that, and we will also be launching a community here soon, and I hope to see some of you in there. I cannot wait to build this with you. Thank you. That's it for today. If something landed, if something shifted, or gave you a little bit more room to breathe, then this did exactly what it was supposed to do. If you're looking for more support, check the show notes for free guides and resources. Each one is built to meet you and your baby exactly where you are. If this episode resonated, share it with one parent who needs it or more. Word of mouth is how this works. I'm Jen Ballew. This is The Rested Parent. Sleep well, or whatever rest looks like for you tonight. Toodaloo.